Good morning everybody, welcome to another video. So you can probably see over my shoulder, I'm stood next to a rather brown river. This is the River Wye. Something a little bit different this time now. I've come to a club stretch. I'm going to have a little bit of a roam about today. I may even do several of this club stretches today. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do. The Wye is up about a metre behind me. So realistically it's barbel we're after. Happy to catch some chub as well, of course. Some beautiful chub in the Wye. But yeah, I think looking at the colour of the water, it's barbel that are really the realistic targets. It is dropping. We had a big dump of rain a couple of days ago. That's gone through. It came up to around 2 metres up. It's back down to about 1 metre up. And yeah, the colour is dropping out a bit by the looks of it. There's only about that much visibility though. So it's going to be a feeder session. I've got my feeder rod here. It's going to be a feeder session today, clearly. Now, can fish 2 rods on the stretch, but I'm not going to. I do like fishing 1 rod when I'm roving about. I've got my wonderful Free Spirit barbel Tamer, 12 foot, 2¼ pound test curve. I've got the quiver tip section in there. We can fish into dark as well here if we want to. So that'll come in handy should we want to do that. It's about 10 o'clock in the morning. I've had a look at a couple of places before I got to this one. But yeah, did like the look of this, so I thought we'd have a go in here. Rest of my gear is my Daiwa GSBR LT 5000C reel, my standard barbel running ledger rig. I'll stick a link up there of how I tie that up. Now there's no braided hook links on this stretch, so I shall be using fluorocarbon hook links, and I'll stick a link up there as to how I tie my barbel hook links as well, so you can go and have a look how I set my gear up for this sort of fishing. But yeah, it's going to be a day I think for a bit of feeder, get the feeder in, get a smell trail going down the river, and hopefully pull some fish towards the feeder. Right, I think that's enough waffle for now. Get the gear all set up and we'll have a go. So baits for today, my usual barbel fishing bait of Dynamite hot fish GLM boilies, lurking in their own liquid. Been in there for years, literally 18 months, 2 years, something like that. So they're very flavourful. Never quite know what the right term is. I've also made from the boilies some matching paste there, as you can see. So I should paste wrap them as well, give even more attraction. They don't have a paste in that range, in the Dynamite hot fish range. It's a fairly small, limited range. So you have to make your own. And if you want to see how to do that, I'll stick a link up there. You can make the paste from the boilies. So you've always got that option if you want a paste wrap. I've also got some luncheon meat, which I've fried in some curry powder. So we've got some nice smelly cubes of luncheon meat as well. And I've actually bought a couple of pints of old red maggots in there as well, in case you're finding things a bit tricky, because it's turned cold the last few days. It's 6 degrees when I got in my car this morning. It was 6 degrees yesterday morning as well. So it may be a bit tricky. But I don't think the rain has been cold, so that's in our favour. I've just put my hand in the water, and it's very subjective, isn't it? But it does feel not cold, shall we say. I was going to say warm, so it doesn't feel warm. It feels not cold anyway. Although it's the air temperature is only about 9 degrees, so the water is never going to feel particularly cold, is it? I was proper cold when I got out of the car, I have to say. But I've had a walk down here, it's a few hundred metres, I don't know, 1/4 of a mile or something like that. Had a bit of a walk around as well, and I've got all thermals on, but I'm sweating a bit now, as you can probably see from my hat. So in the feeder, I'm going to put some Dynamite Big Fish River shrimp and krill groundbait. I've laced it with some more of the pellets. It does come with a few pellets in it. I've laced it with some more pellets, and I've laced it with some garlic hemp from Carbon Baits as well. So I think that is enough talking. Let's hopefully catch some fish. It's always very exciting casting and starting fishing in a new stretch, but you're also never quite sure what you're going to encounter. With the river up as well, it can be a bit tricky. I've got a few pointers off my mate Harry. Hiya Harry. he watches the videos, he fishes down here. He's given me a few pointers as to swims. This was one of them, although he did say that you need to fish here when the river is below 0.7, and at the moment it's at about 1.3. So that's not happening. But we'll have a go in here anyway, and as I say, we'll have a bit of a roam about. We might even change stretches during the day. Right, that really is enough waffle. I'm going to cast in. Now I've got a Guru gripper feeder on at the moment. I've put a 3-ounce feeder on. I'm not sure we're going to hold bottom with a 3-ounce. Quite a lot of flow on there, but we'll see if we can. We can, fantastic. If not, I'll have to put a 4-ounce on. But hopefully we can hold bottom. It seems to be holding at the moment. It would be nice to let it bounce around a little bit and try and sort of search out the swim, but this place is so snaggy and bouldery in general that we're just going to end up snagged up if we do that. We'll give it perhaps an hour or two in here, see if we can get anything going. Regular casting, cast perhaps every 5 minutes at the start, get a bit of smell in the water and see if we can do anything. I think you often get some indications straight away, don't you, of whether there's fish around or not, fish prepared to feed. Travelling as light as I possibly can as well. Sat on the floor, well, on my own hooking mat actually. You know, no chair, as I say, only one rod. Just travel nice and light. Due an overcast day today, which is good. Hopefully it'll stay overcast. Maybe the odd spot of rain, and that's all right. Got my waders on, I've got my jacket, so we're all waterproof. No umbrella, certainly not carrying an umbrella around with me. Well, giving it a good hour in there. We've got some bait in. Oh, stuck my feel a bit. There we go. Got some bait in. I've not had a single knock, to be honest, so I'm not going to hang about. I think I'll have a move. I'm not going to hang about in swims where, you know, I'm not even getting any indication at all. So we'll get on our toes. So, swim number 2. Come a bit further upstream, a bit steadier in here, a bit of a steadier stretch. And it's just going to be a bit of a day of exploring, really, I think, until we try and drop on some fish. No indications at all in that last swim. Already seen a couple of small fish jump out in here, so clearly there's smaller fish here. Hopefully, there's a few bigger ones as well, but I think it's just a case today of, say, roving about until we find some fish, and then we can take it from there. But to not even get a chubby rattle is a little bit disheartening in that last swim. Hence the move. Let's see how we're getting on in here. As I say, it's much steadier pace, so who knows, perhaps we can drop on some fish in here in steadier water. We'll give it another hour in here, and then perhaps we'll try another swim, or there's nothing we fancy, you know, we'll jump in the car and try a different stretch. Just a bit of a day of exploring really today. There you go. Well, there you go. That's exactly what I meant. I mean, I'm sure it was a chub, but clearly there's some fish here, which is exactly what we wanted. Fantastic. Right, that's a good start. So I'd off my paste strap. But yeah, that's exactly the sort of reaction I was looking for, really. I mean, it may be that, you know, there's a big shoulder small chub down there and no barbel, no bigger chub, but it's a start. It's certainly a start. Well, We're into something. Doesn't feel very big. As you can probably see from what I'm wearing, the rain has started. So the odd knock and twitch and rattle, but it's all been very small chubby, and this is very small chubby as well. Grab hold of it. Well, excuse the fingers. There we are. We're off the mark. Not the intended species or the intended size, but we're off the mark. But yeah, it's been very, very small chubby in here, so I think I'm going to make a move. So here we are, swim number 3. Could keep my voice down a little bit because there's other anglers on this stretch. Gone to a different stretch, much further upstream. Same old tactics. Got the flow on the inside here, so not going to cast far out at all. We'll just drop this off out into the current over there. Just onto that nice crease. Well, we've had a couple of hours there. Not a lot going on at all. So, time for a move. I'm going to move into a different stretch. And jump in the car. I say jump in, it's about half a mile away. Go and jump in the car and we'll we're going to start another stretch. Bit of a voyage of discovery today. Well, going to another stretch. There's a few anglers along here. They've said it's not fishing very well. It's typical, isn't it, on the day I turn up? Nevertheless, we shall crack on. One guy told me he'd had a barbel, so that's promising. He's telling me about what he caught the other day, which is very promising. Had a double and stuff, which is great, but that's not today, is it? And I know all rivers are like it to a certain extent, but this place seems very, very moody. It changes its mind like the weather. The River Wye seems to me. But I've had dropped in sort of below all these other anglers. Kind of promising, isn't it? When there's other anglers about, it kind of makes you think, oh, must be a good stretch. But there's other anglers at other stretches. Not a great fan of sitting looking at other people's back gardens either, which I am here. But it's fairly rural, it's out of town. But we'll see. We'll give it an hour or so in here. See what we can do. Sure, it must be a reasonable area, as I say, because there's lots of people here. Well, three lots of people here. And also it's a bit of a walk. And you tend to find, if places are a bit of a walk, and they're popular, they must be good. I think maybe, perhaps upstreams is probably a little bit better than here. There's basically some shallower water and it deepens off, and sort of the next few pegs are all taken. So I've come a little bit further down. I'll get out on that foam line. So it's a bit of depth there. That's a good start. It's a good sign. Doesn't necessarily need to be deep, but it's the sort of place the fish may be holding up. But we'll, same old drill, we'll get some casts in, get a bit of bait in, and then hopefully get a bit of action. Guys were telling me they'd caught some chub as well, so promising if we can get some chub going, and perhaps we'll get some barbel going as well. So the sun has set. Now, I'm not going to give it too much longer. I think we'll fish just till it gets dark. But clearly the fish are not really having it today. I've just messaged my friend. Oh, that might be a reply. My friend Harry, who's also on the Wye. He's been fishing since dawn this morning, and he's just had his first barbel and only 3 chub. It's really not fishing well. I don't know whether it's the cold mornings we've had, the last couple of cold mornings, but I can't think that'll affect the water temperature too much, or I can only think that this big dumping of rain has been cold. But yeah, never known the Wye this quiet. I mean, I'm not even getting plagued by you know, chubby rattles and clangs and stuff. It's very hard going. I mean, obviously the smaller fish like dace and roach and stuff were hammering the maggots when I put those on earlier, just for 2 casts. They were ripping those off the hook. But the bigger fish, certainly, just... I don't think I've had a bite off. I've had the odd chubby rattle. I don't think I've had a bite off anything above about 8 ounces today, to be honest, and I've probably only had about half a dozen actual rattles. It's very, very quiet. If I was closer to home, I would have gone home by now, to be honest, but I wanted to do all these stretches whilst I was over this way. I mean, it's not a million miles away, it's only about an hour in the car. But I wanted to have a good look at the stretches while I was here, which I've done. Well, most of the stretches anyway. I looked at a couple before I started fishing this morning as well, which I didn't fish. But yeah, it's very quiet. I can't hear anyone else doing any good up the bank. There's a couple of anglers have been within earshot, and they're not doing any good either. If they were playing fish, I'd hear it. Nothing happening. But yeah, I mean, as we're here now, we might as well stick it out into dark. You know, it's the best time, the best hour of the day. The next hour, it's about 5:30 now, 5:15, something like that. So the next hour will be the best hour of the day. And you know, I've been fishing here for perhaps 2.5 hours, something like that, and it's casting the swim feeder every 10 minutes or so. So there's a better bait down. So if we can catch them over that, fantastic. If the fish do start to move, I'm sure they'll get onto it, and we'll catch them. If not, we go home with 1 little chub. Not with 1 little chub, obviously. Having caught 1 little chub. Aye. And that was a proper rattle. As soon as that sun dipped below the horizon, a proper rattle there. Did need to get out after some other species as well for neglected things this year with how they've been. Me not being able to get out in the week. Been having whole entire days at the weekend and you know, coming down to the Wye for the day. But it'd be good to get out nearer home, do a bit more, perhaps get after some sander and some small river chubbing. Definitely on the agenda for certainly small river chubbing for the cooler months as well, and some roach fishing on the Avon. It's a little bit early in the year yet. We need the water temperatures to drop a bit, really, I think, because I'm just going to get plagued by the hordes of bleak that live in the Avon at the moment. We'll give it a month or so, 6 weeks, and we'll be having some proper cold nights and frosts, and the water temperature will be down, and that'll calm the bleak down and the minnows, etc. Well, another little clang. As I say, I've just gone a little bit further out, but you know, noticeably since I've cast in this time, it's the light value's gone down as well. So maybe just that the fish are starting to move. It may just be one fish chewing all the paste off my boilie, going away, plucking a bit of paste off again, chewing it, going back, having another bit. It is really not very warm either. I'm really wrapped up and not warm at all. I bet we're in single figures again now. As soon as that sun's gone down, we're in single figures again, I'm sure. Guys, we're in. I think it's a chub. Some very chubby head shakes going on. Blimey, pulling in this current. Blimey. God. Big chub. It's really pulling. If it is a chub, I don't think it can be a chub. Blimey. What a bizarre fight. Oh, a barbel. Not a bad one. Well, kept us waiting today until it got dark. Well, it's just got dark, as you can see, and just had this beauty. Fantastic. Right, as I always say, I'm not going to keep him out the water. Let's get him back. Oh, well, the bait runner around, as you probably heard. And we're in again. This feels a better fish. Oh, blimey, it's just chugging off downstream. Wow. Gaining a bit. Well, it looks like the fish have finally moved onto this feed we've been putting in for the last few hours. Blimey. Testing this gear to the full. Very deep, just at my feet. It's bizarre. Off again. swimming. Because I've got a very long lofty net handle. Makes it a little bit awkward to manoeuvre. Got him. Well, no wonder he was pulling. That's a proper lump. Wonderful stuff. Wow. Absolutely fantastic. Well, made us wait all day, like buses. Two come along at the same time. Fab. Right, let's get him back in the water. There we go again. They're on it now. Literally. It's been about 3 or 4 minutes since I returned that last fish. On this initial run, and he's just coming in like a dog on a lead. Let's change his mind now. And this bush. Come on. That's where he is. Wait. Fab. Wonderful. There we are, guys. Another beautiful river prints. They're really on this bait now. Fantastic. So it's literally 3 or 4 minutes after I just returned that other one. Wonderful. Oh, there we go. Wow, I was just thinking I was going to give it a couple of more minutes and then I was going to go. It's gone quiet for 10 or 15 minutes. This one doesn't feel huge. Not doing a lot at the moment, except let me wind him in. I imagine he'll take exception to what's happening in a minute. It's not a huge one, so very welcome. But yeah, he did come in a bit like a dog on the lead. Terrible bit of netting. Terrible bit of netting. Come on. There we go. eventually. Well, there we are. I think probably the smallest of the bunch. It's probably about £5, something like that. Wonderful stuff. Absolutely fantastic. Just thinking of winding in. We'll have to give it another 5 minutes now, won't we? Well, I'm going to call it a day there. Fished perhaps an hour and a half into dark and had full barbel. It just shows you, doesn't it? Sometimes you're not necessarily doing anything wrong. It's just the fish are not having it. They clearly didn't want it in a day today. Tried 3 different stretches and had all the fish in the last sort of hour and a half. So there you go. It just shows you, doesn't it? But probably best that it was that way around, because I did get to visit all the stretches. I'd have been probably quite reluctant to leave a swim or a stretch where I was catching, so perhaps it's good that it's worked out how it did. It got me, enabled me to have a look around without tearing myself away from fish. Now, I'm not sure when I will be out again next time, but for now, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed that. Tight lines, enjoy your own angling. Many thanks to the channel patrons for your wonderful support, and I'll see you all again very soon.